Now, it seems there's no light at the end of the tunnel, particularly for some Western Cape residents. There are delays in the maintenance program at Koeberg nuclear power station that has interrupted supply. And this has left communities in the dark and the national grid under pressure. eNCA reporter Nobesuthu Hejana is following these developments. Let's cross live to her now for the latest. Nobesuthu, who exactly have you been able to speak to about what is happening at Koeberg and when exactly we can see some of the power that we have come from there?
So, Masego, what I can tell you is that the Western Cape government is not happy at all. In fact, at about 12:30, when we left the Premier's office, we saw a delegation from Eskom as well as the Provincial Energy Council that includes the City of Cape Town's mayor and some delegation from the Premier's office going to a meeting where we understand the Premier is demanding answers. So what we know is that at Koeberg nuclear power station, one unit has been out for some time now, and the Premier saying that he was initially told that the delays will take about 45 days, but when he inquired again, he was then told it would take about 60 days. But when he held a meeting on Wednesday this week with the electricity minister, he was told that the delays could take about 120 days. So he's saying that the initial agreement was that by July, the Unit 1 is supposed to be up and running so that the Unit 2 will be, the maintenance will start for Unit 2, which include the refurbishments of refueling and some maintenance work. But now those timelines are going to clash, and the province is worried or concerned that we will have 2 units that will be down by July next year, and that will also give pressure or put pressure or the strain on the Koeberg power supply station here in the Western Cape. We know that the City of Cape Town as well as the provincial government has been going out to ensure that they produce independent energy to be off-grid from the Eskom's grid, and they were saying that these plans might be impacted because we might see prolonged blackouts in the province. But this is what the Premier had to say about the concerns.
At our Energy Council, we look at where the major risks lie. And if I look forward over the next 12 months, the biggest risk is Koeberg for us in the southern part of South Africa. Most energy is produced up north, has to travel south, and the balancing factor is always Koeberg, nearly 2,000 megawatts. Now we see massive delays on Unit 1, which has been off for a while, and Unit 1 is now colliding with what we need to do in refurbishment of Unit 2 with a deadline of July next year, because July next year both have to be refurbished, both have to be serviced and refueled so that we can renew our license. And if the license lapses, then the whole system is not going to be able to put power into the grid. So that's the critical problem that we have.
And Nobesuthu, we all know that Koeberg is the country's only nuclear power station, but Eskom has been explaining throughout the cause since it switched off that unit on the 10th of December after postponing it a number of times, that at the moment they still have to try and make sure that they stabilize the generation capacity. But did you get a chance to speak to them after the Premier's meeting today to find out what they're saying this time about switching Unit 1 on?
So that meeting is still underway, Masego, and the representative of Eskom who was joining that meeting, in fact, did not want to speak to us, and we did ask the Premier's office whether we will get an update later on the day regarding that particular meeting, and they basically said the situation or the matter is very sensitive, so they want to deal with that first, because the province is also asking Eskom whether there are any ways that the province can assist with its independent power producers. But we also spoke to some residents here in Cape Town just to see whether the impact so far with regards to load shedding, which is experienced in the country at large. And we spoke to one events program owner or events company owner in Bonteheuwel, and she was saying that although she's able to do some work when there are lower stages of blackouts, but with the prolonged blackouts when we are at maybe stage 5 or 6, her business is suffering, which is something that is shared by other residents also in Langa, who were saying that we are paying so much, especially with the city of Cape Town recently increasing those tariffs. So they're saying that we are paying so much, but we don't even enjoy the benefits of having power. So with these power cuts, it's going to be a problem if they continue, and we might experience further or prolonged blackouts.
And I understand their frustration, Nobesuthu. I mean, on the 10th of December, when Koeberg Unit 1 was switched off, that's what led us to experiencing those higher stages of blackouts in December. They gave us a break, I think, on Christmas Day alone. Nobesuthu Hejana live for us there in our Cape Town offices. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.